Disclaimer. As everybody knows, Working Class Nerds wants to give you the best piece of content we possibly can week after week.
But week after week, or at least probably once every 3 or 4 episodes, we have major technical malfunctions.
And we had Sith Lord Britt on the show tonight, and we recorded our longest episode ever.
Yes.
It was 2 hours and 38 minutes.
It was pretty epic.
It was amazing.
But
there was a crash.
Yeah, Sith Lord Britt's Audacity, so the recording software on her end crashed, so we only have our audio, so it sounds like Marcus and I are talking to ourselves.
So with that,
we're going to record a little abbreviated episode so that you get a Working Class Nerds update this week.
Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are Working Class Nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right. We are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, December 12th, 2019, and you can find this Take Two podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, and Stitchers. You can find the both of us on Twitter. Wait a minute. This is episode 60.
It is episode 60.
Oh, I feel old.
We are old.
I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern. That's Nickvern. And this week's episode, we were joined by Sith Lord Britt, but that got all screwed up, as we mentioned in the previous disclaimer. So now, Marcus and I are just going to run you through a few things that we've been up to. The new episode of The Mandalorian, and how pumped we are to go see The Rise of Skywalker next week. But first, Marcus, what have you been up to this week? A little this, a little that, a little SOTOR. Are you having deja vu because you already went through this once?
No. I can always talk about it. It's I'm the jolliest man alive, so it's been Christmas music, and Christmas shopping. Tonight, my 3-year-old wanted to go Christmas shopping with the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Her 1-year-old brother and my wife and myself. Little did I know, the devious little kid, it was all a plot for her to get a toy for herself.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work, but it was very well played. And also, too, trying to detour a 3-year-old from going down just the aisle she wants to go is a struggle.
Yeah, I can imagine that was a bit of a shit show.
Yeah. So with all that, it's really fun. I'm really in the Christmas spirit. We do everything in our power to, or I do, because as a working adult, as we all know, when you're in school, Christmas is easy because that's everywhere around you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all everybody's talking about in school. And then when you're become an adult and have to be an adult, Christmas is just a day. Just all of a sudden is Christmas today, and then you're back to work the next day.
Right.
So you really have to work to be jolly and excited, and I really take that and run with it.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. I'm pretty much done. I got you a pretty amazing gift.
Yeah, what was the budget again? $35?
Well, I kind of changed that, but we're not going to go there. So
Great.
No, I think it was $55. But I love it so much, so because I love it, you're going to love it too.
I get you.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that, like, I fell in love, and I have to share my love.
Yeah, I totally get you.
Anyway, what's funny is I can see your screen and you're on Amazon right now. You're like, what is he getting me for $55?
I was checking the price of something, so I had an idea. I'm like, I think that's way more than $55. So I looked at the price, and it is. So I'm like, okay, so it's not that. So I don't have to buy him that in return.
Yeah. So anyway, in gaming, I've been tanking a shit ton, and I'm still terrible at it, but I'm starting to understand the buttons and doing the whole mouse thing better that I was talking about last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I cleared my first hard mode op as a tank, which was awesome.
That's exciting.
Yes. And I was completely carried by the other 7 players of our team, but that's okay. I'll still take the win. We did Dread Palace. It's really fun. Something that I can tell you is I found that when I was doing story mode, I was having a harder time understanding the tank moves because I never felt like I was in jeopardy of losing threat or not doing the right thing.
I see what you're saying.
Or by the time I figured it out, the bosses were dead. And I was just like, wow, that was really fast. So that could be because I have 4 monster DPSs on the team, or that it's just easier because it's story mode. I don't really have that answer.
Right.
But I've been having a lot of fun doing the gearing, and I'm finally starting to learn a little bit more about it. I wouldn't say I'm proficient because, people like Medulla and stuff, or Doc, they've got it down so well that, I just ask those questions. I'm still lost in it, but it's still an exciting journey. And I think, believe it or not, I think the gearing system in Onslaught is awesome. And yes, it's expensive, and yes, it takes a long time, but that's the point. They want to stretch out the content for as long as they can. So, it's okay that it takes a little bit because it just gives us something to play.
Right.
The other thing, I've been running a lot of Master Mode flashpoints, and I really want to just say thanks to Bo, Katarina, and Veneros because they've been dealing with my bad tanking, and it's nice to be able to sign in on a random night and 3 of your raid teammates are like, let's go, jump in a flashpoint. And it's actually been really fun having them on the team because they've brought a new life because all 3 of them have been playing together for a while.
Right.
So you're bringing in another, I'm going to call it a friend dynamic into the team, which already has a great dynamic. And then you mix their dynamic with our dynamic, and it's like a super dynamic.
Yeah, it's like a big camaraderie soup.
Right. And, we've added channels to the Discord. Like there's a Food Network one where, we're talking about food, or Katarina's posting pictures of whatever food
she's making.
Yeah, and it's just reinvigorated the whole team. And then Veneros is in like this friendly competition with Doc Sotor, which is actually pretty fun because they are, it's all about the DPS numbers, and they're.
Okay.
It's really funny, like, I did 13,000. Well, I did 15,000. And they're just like back and forth. It's actually pretty awesome to hear that because, they're having fun with it. But deep down, we all know that Doc is like.
Really taking it extraordinarily seriously?
No. He that's what he cares about.
Right.
He's on this. And, he got number 3 of the, on Parsley, which is like the top DPS in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's number 3 out of everybody.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so he's been grinding a lot. And don't you dare stick your fingers in those veggie straws. I saw you going for the bag.
I was.
Anyway.
I was about to grab a veggie straw, and I was like, nope,
but
there's a record.
I'm having so much fun with the team, and I see the potential because now I'm the weakest link in the team. And if I'm the weakest link, I think we're going to be okay.
Right.
But I'm still terrible at tanking. But the fun part is as a Marauder, as you all know, you get to you jump in first, and everybody gets mad at you, but you do it anyways because you don't give a fuck. As a tank,
You're supposed to.
Yeah, I'm supposed to, and it's actually fun. And I'm making the the learning tank mistakes, which are, I don't guard anybody, so Doc is just pulling threat off me the whole time. And it's kind of funny to me because I'm failing everywhere.
And you're laughing as
he
because
he's like, Mark, she didn't guard me, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I can't even get threat back because their DPS is so high. Or even when I guard somebody, they're still pulling threat, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Why am I here? Anyway, the only other thing I would say about gaming is I'm uber excited for Christmas to come.
Yep.
And I really hope they got me Jedi Fallen Order because
I'm sure they did. If they didn't, I know what you're doing the 26th.
yeah, if they didn't get it for me, I'm gonna buy it right away. No, I'm gonna buy it on the 25th. So that night I'm playing it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Are you gonna play it on your computer?
Well, so that's the tricky part right now. So there's a deal right now where you can get the Xbox One X, Jedi Fallen Order, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare
Okay.
for $350.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really good deal.
That is a really good deal.
But at the same time, like I'm like, okay, do I need another Xbox, like that I'm not gonna play?
Especially because the new one's gonna come out.
Well, that's right. So next year the Xbox 2 is coming,
Right.
and I'm just like, so I'm paying $350 for something that I'm gonna use for a year,
Or 8 months,
or not even use. Like,
yeah, you're really not. I just played on. You have an Xbox Elite controller. Just plug that into your computer.
I know, but like Jedi Fallen Order is a sit on the couch game.
So
It doesn't
get a
work
long
well.
HDMI.
No, that's no. Anyway, so, I'm dying to play it, but unlike Driggsy, I will not be playing it on like Grandmaster from the gate.
Yeah, Trixie's insane.
Well, he posted something, he posted something. There's something in Jedi Fallen Order called the Huntmaster
Okay,
that you have to fight. Is that right?
I think so. That sounds about right.
Huntmaster. Let me see.
We're doing the Googling.
No, I'm pulling up
His Twitter.
his Instagram. It's probably old now. Oh no, I can search it. Anyways, so, but if that's
What about it? Did he post the fight or something?
well, yes.
Piece of it? Because I mean, I don't want to spoil anything past what you've seen. So
It says Oh yeah, so I was stuck on the 3 waves of enemies before the huntsman for a solid 30 minutes.
oh, let me see. I know what you're talking about. I don't want to say a lot. I know exactly what he's talking
Okay,
about.
but in SOTOR, the huntsman is a Trandoshan that you fight in Duxon.
Trandoshan.
Yeah, it's like a lizard guy. So
Okay.
I'm
That's
not
cool.
saying
Yeah, you're correlating the two and just excited to see what the heck's happening.
and I just feel like that's so cool. If it's a Trandoshan, that's going to be really sweet for me because that's tying my game to their game.
Right.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought.
You're looking forward to Christmas? And you hope you get Jedi Fallen Order.
I do.
I think, dude, you need to finish. Like, I don't care.
Well,
what
I have
happens.
no.
There's no choice. You need to finish that campaign.
Well, no. I will. No,
Okay.
because it's. I want to know the canon story. There's bits and pieces, and I have not watched any reviews on it. Like, I don't want to know. Like, I know some of the stuff that's in it, not because there's spoilers, just because it's just known that hey, this is in that game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're.
And
a
you
Padawan.
see when you saw the trailer, it kind of gave you the big plot point, and you understand. But like, you don't. The trailer didn't tell you is. Okay, where do you start? Does it start right after Order 66 or not? And, like, don't tell me that.
Right.
But I just feel like, I honestly, and the other reason why the Xbox intrigues me for it is I'm not going to be turning on the computer, so the thought of SOTOR won't pop into my head at all.
See, this cycle is intriguing to me. You go, like, I prefer the PC, and then you didn't like the PS4. I think you were screwed with the PS4 because you just don't like PlayStation.
No. I hate the controller.
That's
the
what I
controller's
mean.
the worst controller ever made.
Right. So, like, I think that.
And X is in the wrong location.
that bugs me on the Switch more.
Well, that's
than
why
anything.
I think that's why. And as you know, Nick, I'm a creature of habit.
Right.
So me switching this many years after not having a PlayStation, like just the X button, it sounds ridiculous, but like I can't tell you how many times I've hit the wrong button in a game because X was in the wrong location.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that same thing happens to me, especially when I would play something on the Switch.
Or B.
Yeah.
Like they're telling me circle, and I'm like, what the hell is circle? And I actually have to look at the controller because
like
I'm
an old person.
yeah, like I don't know what circle is. It's B.
Right.
The F is wrong with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
same thing here.
But keep going on your theory on this.
Oh, what I was going to say is it's an interesting cycle. Like, you went from your PC to the PS4 Pro because you like that couch effect, but then you never really used the PlayStation because there wasn't a big game that drew you to it, but also there wasn't you hated the controller, so you never used it. So then you went back to PC for a while, and we swapped it, and I gave you the Switch. Now you love the Switch because it's like the things you play on the Switch you can't really play on PC.
But I don't play the Switch the way I play an Xbox or my computer.
Right, it's a unique thing.
For the most part, it's when I'm in bed or on the couch.
Right.
Or if my wife is watching a TV show, I can play it, and I get to enjoy the game.
Right.
And
it's a different experience.
But believe it or not, my favorite place is like sometimes like I'll pull up to my daughter's school 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
And I'll just set it up, kickstand it up, and grab my Pro controller and jam.
Right.
For 15 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I feel satisfied. I got to play a game today, because I might have to work late tonight and not
be able to play like SOTOR or something for real later.
Right.
Which is pretty sweet.
But I feel like with an Xbox One X, I'm going to get good enough graphics, and I like the Xbox controller. I'd use my Elite controller, but I really feel like I would play. I would use it for Fallen Order.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that in itself is worth it. And, well, I mean, you could... So I was going to say that you could play Call of Duty with me.
Oh, fuck that. No, but I can get FIFA 20. I can get Call of Duty, FIFA 20, or Madden. I'd probably buy FIFA.
Yeah, because then I can whoop your ass in FIFA.
Well, no, because you have a PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget that not everything's cross-platform.
It's
Call
so
of Duty.
dumb.
Yeah.
And I would never play Call of Duty on an Xbox because I'm not using an analog stick to aim.
I feel like the analog stick to move, we might have a good argument for, but the aiming is clearly better on a mouse.
WASD for movement.
Yeah, but you have more fluidity with the analog stick because you can. WASD is like linear movements, and then you turn.
But you turn with the mouse. That's
I don't know.
legit. Turn your DPI settings down and murder town.
Yeah. Oh, and use your big motions. I see what you're saying.
So, something else, and this is going to drive you bonkers.
What else is new?
Right. So I figured out keybinds on my laptop, on the computer for SOTOR.
Okay.
So
did you not already have that?
Well, not really, because I clicked the screen for years. So the mouse has 12 buttons, and it has an extra like mouse button, like the left and right, click, click, click.
Yeah.
There's a third one, and that's my control key. So I essentially have 24 buttons on my mouse.
Wow.
Okay? But I still need more for SOTOR. So, are you ready for this?
I'm listening.
My defensive cooldowns are now WASD.
Oh, because you've...
So
Because you run with the mouse buttons.
Yeah, so I just click both mouse buttons and I walk and run.
God, that's so stupid.
So I use Q, WASD, QE,
R.
Z, X, and F. I didn't use R. No.
That just like hurts my soul.
But
that's not your movement keys.
Yeah, but it works. And we were in the raid last week, and I was saying that like I figured this out, and everybody was making fun of me, and Doc was like, "Listen, it's working.
He's playing better. Shut up."
He's playing better. Let's do this. If he plays the game dumb, it's not our fault he plays it dumb. As long as he's doing it right while we're playing the game, it's not dumb. But
Right.
as soon as we're done playing the game, it is really dumb.
Right.
Let's just move on. So that's it for my gaming. What about you, Nick?
So, this week for me is finals week, so I have a whole bunch of work and exams and projects and things. So not a whole lot of gaming. I have been playing quite a lot of Call of Duty, which is great as always, but not a whole lot to report there. obviously, because it's kind of same old, same old. I am really enjoying it, though, I will say.
I hear the game is really good.
It is. And they fixed it a lot, too. I think it was a lot of cheap things, a lot of imbalanced things, and I think that just comes from, like,
PvP.
Yeah, PvP and not enough. I mean, I'm sure they tested the crap out of it, but there's only so much testing you can do. You know?
Can't. Okay.
And
If me and you make a game,
yeah,
we're going to make the game, and we're going to just play the game the way we play the game.
Yeah, you can't control for the millions and millions and millions of people.
But then you throw Ari in it and say, play this game. She's going to play it completely different than us.
Right.
She may spend an hour just trying to find the end of the map and like try to break the game.
Right.
You have no idea what they're going to do.
Right.
You know, but the problem for me with Call of Duty is I would love to get it because it's cross-platform.
Yeah, and I could play on
you could play on the PlayStation
PS4 and
while
you could
I
play
play
on your
on the
computer.
PC. Right.
Yeah.
And Matt could play on the Xbox. The problem is, here's my big issue with it, is that I'm only going to play it twice. So I'm going to get it. I'll play it for a night, and then I probably won't pick it up again for a week.
Until I text you and be like, hey, let's play Call of Duty. And then you hop on, and that's it.
Exactly. And then we play it, and then it's not going to be picked up again. And I can understand why people that play MMOs don't play other games.
Yeah, because you kind of get sucked into. You think about like, oh, I could be making progress in the MMO.
Right. Yep.
Which is totally frustrating.
Yep.
But outside of gaming stuff, I also started rewatching the sequel trilogy movies. So I rewatched The Force Awakens, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more. I kind of respect how they mirrored the plotline of the original trilogy a little bit, especially A New Hope. And I think it was just sort of as like a way to bring in new fans and get them interested in that type of story of Star Wars, but using their new characters in that same sort of way. And then I feel like at the same time they also had a lot of nostalgic elements that the fans, the core fans, actually enjoyed as well. So I mean, I still think it's a little cheesy that they sort of mirrored the plotline of A New Hope, but at the same time I get. Now that I see the broader scope of what they were doing, it makes sense, and I can kind of respect what they were doing a little bit more, rather than when it was the only new piece of Star Wars that we had, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Like, now that you can see the bigger scope, it's like, okay, that fitting into the bigger scope is fine, and like, even though on its own it's not like an ideal product, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. The Force Awakens was fan service to everybody. And they rehashed the first, 4, 5, and 6. So you got a little bit of Empire, a little bit of New Hope, a little bit of Return of the Jedi in it, and it was just a complete movie. I think they did too much. Is that Siri?
That was Siri. She's saying hi.
Yeah, she is saying hi. I think that the Force Awakens is good. I liked it from the start. Yeah, it was a little Death Star-y and all that stuff. But then, like, look at The Last Jedi. It was Mary, Leia did the whole Mary Poppins thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's pieces of everything.
That are, like, good and bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Star Wars is all I know.
Right.
This is it. And for 36 years of my life, I've been a Star Wars fan. I'm pretty sure it was on the TV when I was a kid. And I might have been too little to realize it, but I remember it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the next movie that comes, Rise of Skywalker next week, dude, I'm going to love every minute of it.
Me too. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy.
We're going to be freaking out. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we will be, for sure. I mean, and then especially in between. I know the listeners didn't hear it, but we're definitely, Sith Lord Britt gave us the idea to record some audio of our thoughts in the car between our two showings, which I think is a great idea.
It is a great idea.
We should definitely do that. But
I think we should, because we're not going to be able to go to a restaurant.
Right, because if I don't want to be talking about that in front of other people.
Right. Can you imagine, listeners, if Nick and I just got out of the movies, you're sitting down having dinner and you're going to the 10:50 show.
Yeah,
just
or,
like
or
us.
even the next night when it's
Right.
like actually supposed to open. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're going
whatever.
a day early.
Yeah, we're going the day before, and we're sitting down at a bench, and I go, dude, did you see Luke and Mace Windu? And you two heard it, or you guys, or your table, or just you would get up and punch me in the face.
Yeah,
You'd say, dude,
and like
shut the fuck up.
and
Get the fuck
deservedly
out of
so.
it. Yes. So we're going to get some kind of to-go food after the first episode and just sit in the car and
Chat about it.
Yeah, we're just going to click record, and we're going to see where the audio takes us because it's going to be so in front of our face.
We
And
have to.
I don't think anybody will be. I don't think I can plan for the emotion because what if it's terrible? And like, I don't think any of the Star Wars movies are terrible, but what if it is? Or what if it's amazeballs?
Right. Yeah. Either way, I think that'll be a worthwhile recording to do, to get taken care of.
Yeah. So we got some big news today.
We did from the developers of.
SOTOR. That was so weak.
That was real weak. That was like whale language from Finding Nemo.
I was thinking of narwhal.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. So, anyways,
Did I just snort on?
yes, you
Gary?
did. That
Oh,
was great.
No.
Oh
It's
my
terrible.
god, most ridiculous episode ever. Happy 60th.
The second one.
So, take two. From the devs, they say, join us Monday, December 16th at 2 p.m. Central Time or I don't even know what time that is East
That's
Coast
3 p.m. Eastern.
time. Okay.
It's an hour
Join
behind
us Monday, December 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for another community live stream. With 2020 right around the corner, we'll be talking about what players can expect to see coming soon. If you keep an eye out, a hint can already be found on the fleets.
Which I'm going to sign in. Probably not now because it's midnight.
Right.
And find out. But I think I'm really excited for this because I feel like it's how you should end the year. Okay, guys, hey, we just gave you your patch, which we're going to go over the patch notes in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're going to be like, hey, we're here. Give us a little bit of like chugga chugga hype train.
Right.
Not like the full choo choo, but like chugga 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 chugga.
Just a little something.
Yeah, something just to get you pumped up. And I'm getting pumped up, or I'm just freezing cold sitting in my basement.
It is extraordinarily cold
because
down
I
here.
think my wife turned off the heat or something because it's freezing down here.
Can confirm.
But what I'm saying is, so we're getting the chugga chugga live stream where they're not going to announce anything big, but they'll probably give us some hints, talk about all the stuff that we've gotten and what's coming, which is going to be great for us because give us something to look forward to.
Right.
And then they're basically saying, look at, we're out.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's our vacation too.
Yeah,
because-
like, see you guys. We'll talk to you next year. And that's pretty much, we'll keep everything afloat. But
right.
other than that, don't call, don't write, deuces.
Yeah, opposite of Kim Possible.
Yeah, exactly. So, Nick, we got the patch notes, and actually they're, we're not going to go through them all.
We'll
but
give you the couple
some
things.
highlights.
So, ranked PvP Season 12 starts, which is pretty sweet.
Let the toxicity begin.
So I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom and talk about some changes to PvP that we highlighted before.
Sure.
So now in PvP Warzones, players who decline a queue pop or leave a match early for a ranked Warzone will now be unable to queue again for 15 minutes. So if you are initiating like to go play a ranked match and then bail out and leave your teammates without an extra person, you can't queue again for 15 minutes, which, like, I don't know why that wasn't a feature to begin with.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's just being like, or if you're losing
and you leave.
and you leave, I hate that. Just play the whole match.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if you stink? You're going to be better, and everybody has a bad match sometimes.
Exactly.
Don't leave the match early.
Exactly. So, in the same vein, it increases the rating penalty received for declining a ranked PvP queue or leaving a match early to 25 ratings instead of the 15 ratings that you would have dropped before.
Which is good.
Also good. Same vein.
Don't be a douche.
Right. So they also made adjustments to matchmaking, which previously allowed a single tank or healer to prevent ranked PvP queues from popping.
I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make the ranked matches pop. But if you get a tank in 3 DPS versus a whole team, which whether it's 3 DPS or 2 DPS, 1 tank, and then a healer,
Yeah.
then it's not balanced because they have a healer.
Yeah,
so
you
now
need a
your
healer.
rating is going down if you're losing because the
You
teams weren't fair.
Right. They weren't fairly composed.
Correct.
So beyond that, in addition to minimum rating requirements, each ranked PvP rank now has a minimum games won requirement, which is as follows. Bronze is 25 wins, silvers is 50 wins, gold is 100 wins, and top 96 is a minimum of 200 wins.
I think this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm a positive dude, and this is bad.
Yeah. I think it just increases the sort of toxicity of it's not the right word, but it just like you were saying before the previous episode, take one that you were saying how that is mostly going to increase the gap between casual players and the hardcore or really intense ranked players, because it's just harder to break into the game,
Oh, for sure.
And it makes people even within some of the lower groups really, really extra value those wins rather than just their rating.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or what if you've been playing casuals for a while?
Yeah.
And you're like, look at the rewards are really good in ranked, which I've done it before, and you want to jump in. Now that wins are such a priority, you're gonna say, you're terrible. You're a terrible human being because I lost this match and now you took me out of the top 96.
Right.
Go
whatever.
Do casuals or whatever. Or go do an operation. Get out of our I just feel like it's drawing a gap between players.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so also the tech fragment cap has been increased from up from 5,000 to 10,000, which Marcus was saying earlier is definitely required.
Oh no, it's definitely great because once you have a full set of gear or another full set of gear, those things are just going to pile up, and 5,000 isn't enough because it's really expensive to buy tacticals and it's really expensive to buy the gear at 3,000 tech fragments a piece.
Right.
Versus unless Kai Zyken's open in their 1,500, but still, you need to be able to hold more.
I get you. So there's also some new missions coming our way. The Mechshaw Trade House is looking for assistance acquiring goods from across the galaxy in a new series of daily quests available after completing the Onslaught Mechshaw storyline, which is pretty sweet. So
Yep.
you get some new dailies over on Mechshaw. Also, Life Day returns. It's that time of year again. Denizens across the galaxy, get ready to celebrate Life Day. This event will run from Tuesday, December 17th until Tuesday, January 7th. You can throw snowballs, hug Wookiees, and earn rewards, so get out there and celebrate Life Day.
Whoop.
That seems fun.
And Life Day is canon.
That's true.
Canon.
It was in the Mandalorian, which I didn't learn until earlier today. Also, it's the 8th anniversary of Star Wars The Old Republic.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
December 20th marks 8 years since the launch of Star Wars The Old Republic. To honor this momentous occasion, a special anniversary personnel vendor can be found on the fleet offering special rewards from Tuesday, December 17th through Tuesday, January 7th. Basically, they're going to be giving us a bunch of decos.
Right.
The other stuff that came in, it's just a lot of bug fixes, changes. They're adding some more tacticals, and they're adding some other stuff. We're not going to read through everything because it's
a whole lot of info. But do we have some guild news that you want to touch on before we talk about the Mandalorian real quick?
Yes. So this past Tuesday was
Mega
and MFN, Mandatory Fun Nights,
where the fun is mandatory but attendance is not.
So we started off the night to get the group together, and we met on Max's party train, and we had a little party, started chatting it up, and then we did our annual pod racing event where we did laps around the fleet, and some people won, which was a lot of fun. Then B-Cavs took us to a bunch of world bosses, and then Max found some commanders, and we got to kill them. It was super fun times.
That's sweet.
And the reason why we did the Mega combination, Mandatory Fun Night and Mega together on a Tuesday, in December people are really busy. And, we all value your time, so we didn't want, if you have a holiday party or you have holiday shopping to do or whatever it is, we don't want to try to take your Friday night. So we said, let's combine it with a MFN, and we'll enjoy it on a Tuesday night. And it was a lot of fun. There were a lot of laughs, and yeah. So I want to say thank you to all my friends and guildies in AIE. You guys are the reason why I signed into this game. Death Star Troopers, we've had our bumps and bruises. We've, taken adversity. Is that the right way to say it?
Overcame adversity?
Yeah. And and we're a whole team again, and it's really great. And I thank all of you guys because, I really see us starting to do some fun things this year. And happy Life Day, everybody. Cheers to 2020.
Happy Life Day. Woo woo. So, hey, if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org, jump in the Discord, and ask for a guild invite. Whether or not you play SWTOR or any of the other games you play, we'd love to have you, even if you want to just come chat.
Yeah, you really should. Something else that I wanted to touch on before we jump into Mando Minute, it's, what I'm realizing about AIE is it's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And there's so much stuff that goes on outside of AIE, and I hear some of the stories of people in guilds that just don't like their guilds, but they're only there because it's what they know. And it's hard for me to pitch AIE. Do I pitch? Yeah. Of course I'm trying to sell you on it because it's the best place to be. But, there's not a lot of toxicity at all in AIE.
Sorry, I just saw your IG-11 Funko Pop up there.
Oh, yeah.
On the shelf. I didn't notice it until just now.
Right. And, I just want to say to everybody, you don't have to jump in our guild in game to try it. Come in the Discord. Come hang out with us for a day. And you're going to see that, we're awesome and family friendly. And you're going to want to be here and hang out with us because everybody's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, I got one word.
Yeah.
Tatooine.
I know. I freaked out when I heard the Mos Eisley Tower to unknown spacecraft. Like, you're cleared for landing. I was like, Mos Eisley, wait a minute, is this Tatooine? And then sure enough, they panned out and there was 2 moons.
Yes. And I freaked out. I got the goosebumps, jumped up, sat up on the couch, and I was just like, yeah,
it was awesome.
Thank you. Finally, yes.
It was great.
And, for all of the, excuse me, for all of the cool little things, instantly I got my favorite little droids in the beginning in the spaceport. I forget, push button droids, repair droids. I don't know what those things are called.
With the little, flat helmet-y looking heads.
Yeah, we push the nose and they shrink down. They're awesome, and Yoda baby doesn't listen to Mando, man, and
never.
He's like, I'm not staying in the ship.
Hell no.
Nope.
Waddle.
And then the spaceport lady is like, whoa, what are you?
Right. It's like, oh, but you're cute though. All right, I'll take care of you.
Yep. And then they went to the cantina.
The cantina was my favorite part. I love how it's the whole thing is just a callback to the original trilogy. It's the exact same cantina. You get the bounty hunter, smuggler in the original trilogy, but in the same pose. He's clearly mimicking Han Solo. But I thought it was really interesting how, so obviously the Mandalorian hates droids, and you see that that's because of his traumatic past with the super battle droids that killed his family and obviously does something to him. And then in here, you go in and the bartender's a droid. That's particularly interesting because in the original trilogy, the bartender was some humanoid person, and he said, "Hey, we don't serve droids in here. Get out of here," to C-3PO and R2. So there's no droids allowed in that cantina originally. But now, fast forward, and there's droids are the bartender in that same cantina. So obviously things have changed since the Empire got kicked out. And now our protagonist is the anti-droid person. It's just an interesting flip that I saw. And like, it's not even like our protagonist is like sort of, I don't know, like morally gray or something. Like, you can get why he hates droids because he got like his childhood really got screwed up by droids.
Yeah, clearly they got killed by a super battle droid.
Right. So although like, yeah, like, hey, that bartender didn't, or like those little repair droids didn't do anything to you. Like, I kind of understand why he's so traumatized by it. So I can at least sympathize in some level with him. So it's not such a negative. Well, it's, you know, it's not an like an, I don't know, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's sort of understandable, I guess is all I'm trying to say. And it's interesting to see the contrast between that and the original trilogy. But I liked that whole episode. I thought it was really interesting, that whole bounty hunting sequence, how the noob bounty hunter like sort of played Mando a little bit to say like,
Oh, he completely played him.
yeah. I thought I bought into him being like the innocent kid the whole time.
Yep.
And then when he flipped, I was like, oh, you were acting this whole time. You weren't so innocent
No.
and helpless.
Yep.
Which I thought that whole plot line was really cool. Then he shoots the assassin lady whose name I forgot. And,
Yes.
And we were questioning as to whether or not she's actually dead. I think she's probably dead. Marcus, what do you think? Is she dead?
I don't know because
I feel like it doesn't
in
matter
take
that much.
one of the show, my biggest thing was, are they pulling the Game of Thrones people, or
And explain what that means.
so they give you an awesome character and they just kill them off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know,
She
so
was
like
cool.
IG-11 dead. We haven't seen him again. Nick Nolte's character, I Have Spoken, is not dead, but nowhere he's gone.
Yeah.
Then you had the is her name Carla?
I forget.
The Mandalorian, the old Shadow Guard.
Oh, right. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I mean? So like,
Not Stormtrooper.
yeah, you know, like she was awesome.
Yeah.
Is she gone? Well, are we going to see her again? Then you have Assassin Lady, which is that awesome actress, and now is she? Are we never going to see her again?
Yeah, probably
what about
not.
What about the guy? Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Like that dude was awesome in the Stormtroopers. Like, are we going to see them again?
Probably not.
Right, exactly.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I just want to see where the
All these people go. Kind
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I am very much starting to get tired. But before we wrap things up, I really want to talk about this one point. The end of the episode. Who the heck are those feet that come over to the assassin's body?
Yeah, I just think it's another bounty hunter.
That's what I thought.
That is
originally.
just like, okay, what happened here? We tracked the Mando here,
And
but
now
they're not here now.
And this and this assassin lady's dead.
Yeah.
So I think what I originally saw when I watched it was that it was just another bounty hunter tracking them, and like they're never going to be safe. But Sith Lord Britt brought up a good point that it could be, dun dun dun, Boba Fett.
I don't know how they're going to tie all that together. I
don't
really
either.
don't. I don't, but I would love to see it. Just that would be the ultimate in fan service.
Right. If it ended up being Boba Fett.
Right. That would people will go bananas.
I hope it is.
This will be the most popular Star Wars thing ever if it is.
I really hope it is. I'm wearing a Boba Fett hoodie as we speak.
Yeah, it's got Hawaiian flowers on it.
Yes, it does. I thought it was fitting. But anywho.
So just the final thought on the Mando is, can they shut off the tracking fob on Yoda Baby?
I don't think so.
I
don't know. We don't have any answers for it. We don't even know how they work.
Well, that's what I mean. So, like, is there a way, like, or is there a tracker inside them? Like, I don't know. And
I
that's
think it's
the
like
question.
tied to their DNA or something. I don't think there's a tracker inside them. You know,
Okay.
otherwise you'd have to like that defeats the purpose of the bounty hunting. Because if you knew where they were to tag them with a tracker, you know how wouldn't you just capture them at that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
You know, so I guess the real question is, clearly it's never the pressure is never going to stop from Yoda Baby and Mando.
Right.
So how does this move forward if they can't ever shut off this tracking fob?
They must stop the people who originally put out the bounty, I guess.
Yeah, but but you still can't shut off the.
Maybe they can remotely shut off the fobs. That would make more sense than like sort of disconnecting the tracking, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'm really eager to see the next episode tomorrow, or it's actually today now.
In 2.5 hours.
Well, I'll be sleeping.
Oh, me too. But hey, before we wrap this up, we want to talk about our schedule for the next episodes.
Go.
So we're recording this episode a week earlier than we normally would because next week we're going to see The Rise of Skywalker.
2 times in one night.
Exactly. We're going back to back, essentially.
You know how I know Nick is tired? His waveforms on Audacity are really low.
I know. I'm kidding. My voice is getting lower.
Your energy level is running out, and mine is picking up.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked.
So
why aren't we recording next week?
So next week is, Rise of Skywalker.
It is?
Yes, and so we're going to see that when we would normally.
When are we going to see that?
Oh my God! Thursday, December 19th, 6:10 p.m. and then also the 10:50 p.m. showing.
I think it's a 6 o'clock showing, 6 flat.
Something like that.
Yes. Anyway,
and then we're not going to have a new episode until the new year. So we want to give it a good 2-week buffer after Rise of Skywalker, and then we'll do the full Rise of Skywalker breakdown. That way we can be all spoilery all the time, and that 2-week buffer is that's enough time for people to go see it. And we won't ruin anything for anybody. But that's our game plan.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to not give I want to do the spoiler cast because it's going to this is it for me.
Yeah, we want to include that audio from between
and
the
it's
shows.
so important. Yeah. But the other thing is we really want to give everybody a couple weeks. I really like what are the directors' names?
The Russo brothers.
Yes, what they did when they were like, look at no spoilers for 2 weeks, please. And I respect that because, honestly, if you don't go see the movie within the first 2 weeks...
You didn't care that much
You
about
didn't care that much,
anyway.
so what do you care about spoilers for?
Right.
You can't tell me you don't want the spoilers and not go see it within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's movie theaters everywhere.
Right.
I don't care if you're going to Indonesia...
There's a movie theater.
There's a movie theater where you... Yeah.
You can figure it out.
You can... It's the 2-week buffer, and I respect that.
Right. But anywho... All right, we just cranked through a mini episode. Not too shabby.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.